Hi, this is Vicki Romaine with Cheerful Greetings, and today we're going to do a technique called glitter ridges. And I have some glitter here, and we will be making some ridges. So the first thing we're going to do is decide what papers and all we're going to use. I've got my cardstock here for my basic card. I've cut it into 4.25 by 4 1/4 by 5.5. And I went down the long direction this time on my 8.5 piece of cardstock and cut it at the 4 1/4 measurement, which split the cardstock into half. So I have 2 of these that I can use. And I decided that I'm going to open it up this way, kind of landscape. So I'm going to put the papers here, and I'll come back to them in a few minutes. But first, I'm going to do our focal point. I have this stamp here. I've used it a number of times. I don't know who it's from, but it's an old buggy here, so let's see what we get. The color that I'm working with is called Rust. And I want to make sure it gets on my stamp good. It hasn't been used for a while, so I need to make sure it's really inked up good. Okay. I've got this piece of cardstock here. It's no particular size. It's basically the size of my car. And we're going to stamp and see how it comes out. This is a pretty good image considering these ink pads, my odd colors, are not loaded with ink by any means. Let's talk about our ridges. We have, my mat keeps moving on me. I have a way of making my ridges. I'm going to use this Corrugator. That's what this is. And it will make me some ridges. Now, the hardest thing to do with this is to get your image in straight, because you really can't tell when you start it how it is inside the wheels, rollers. Now, I think that's fairly straight, so I've mashed down on it. Now, let's see how it came out. Okay, we did pretty good. I see that I didn't cut it real straight here, so I'm going to trim this off. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glitter my edges. Now, this is some glue, school glue, in fact, that I had kind of watered down to use for another project. And this is my leftovers. So I'm going to take my brush here, and I am not going the direction of the ridges. I'm going across them. So we'll start on one side and just go across. Now, I could have used my glue that has the pointed top, but it comes out so slowly that the first glue would have been dried by the time I got to the second half of the image. So I'm using this instead, doing it this way. Next, I take my coffee filter and put it here. I'm going to sprinkle some glitter on my image. And then I knocked some of it off. And if I want to try it again, I can pour it over an area that looks like it doesn't have enough. And then just sift it around. Now, that's my little truck. I'm going to let it dry for a minute. And I'm going to take my mat. I want to see how this is going to look. That'll look great. I'm going to take my mat and put it on my card. And I'll let this sit here and dry. Now this is the glue I could have used, but half the time it stops up on me, and when it comes out, it doesn't come out very much at all. I want to make sure my writing is upside down. Is right side up. You can't read it anyway, but I still want it the right side up. We'll give this a minute or two. I want to see if this is big enough to put this on. Just barely, but I think it's a little too much. And here's where it gets kind of tricky. This time I think I am going to use my brush to put my glue on so I can get it on quicker, and it will go in the ridges enough to stick to the card. Okay. Now here's my card. So I've got me a couple of stamped pictures here. I'm going to color one of them. The other one I'm just going to leave plain. We'll just do one quickly here. And so we have just a little color. I got these for Christmas. And like the flower, it's kind of sketchy. And that's kind of the way I'm coloring. I'm not coloring it in full. I'm just kind of giving it a hint of the color. Kind of flighty drawings here. I think I'm going to go back and add just a little more to some of these back petals. Okay. Now, we have our two images, and one is in color and one is not. We'll put our pins away. And go to the next step. Now we said that this was glitter ridges. Well, we have our image, and I have some glitter here on the table, but we don't have any ridges, so let's make some. I've got my it's called a corrugator. And this is the hardest part of the whole technique, and that is to get your image in the roller straight, because it's hard to tell where it is in the roller if you sit it down there and then try to hold it. So hopefully we'll have it in the center. Okay, and here is our piece. Not perfect, but who knows? And I had this much stuck in, so therefore it's flat. And what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to kind of trim it off like this, so it's not too much showing. Now, let's see if we can do a better job with the lighthouse. I'm going to put this in here like this. Okay, now we have ridges on both of them. Again, I'm a little off, but it's hard to get that perfectly straight in there. Next, we go with the glitter. The way I'm going to do the glitter is a little different. Instead of using my glue with the point on it, like this, I'm going to use some school glue that has been diluted for a previous project. And so I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to brush the top of my ridges here. So instead of going this way, I'm going to go this way. That way I'm only hitting the tops. Okay. Next, I need to finish these two images into cards. And here we are. We have the cards that I have made using the glitter ridges technique. I hope you enjoyed this technique and we'll try it out. and let me know what you think of it. In the meantime, have a great crafting day. Please subscribe and see you next time. Bye.